If everyone in the world recognized this, all of the problems of humanity would just disappear overnight. There was God talking to this person saying that I created the entire universe for you to mature and learn and explore. And he said, you mean mankind? You want mankind to mature and grow and learn? He said, no, just you. He said, well, what about everyone else? God says, there is no one else. It's just you and me. Have you felt love? Love that came from within. If all that you seek is within you, then have you felt the love that is inside of you? Have you felt the love that you can potentially give, share, heal with, become whole with? There's a book, Mastery of Love. He talks about the mastery of love, but he also gives references and details from the book, The Fifth Agreement and the Four Agreement books. So it's a series. But today I want to talk about love from the teachings of the masters of the Far East. Goal when I started this work, when I started this journey. And I wanted to understand what is possible. What have people achieved? I wanted to reverse engineer. I wanted to first find out where have people been able to get to doing this work, okay? And what's it like? You will never understand what's it like completely, but you can get a pretty good idea. I was very shocked that this information is so hidden. I was very shocked that this information is not mainstream. People don't talk about it. In fact, if I go outside in the grocery store and I tell them what is possible, the powers that we possess within us, I will sound crazy. To me, obviously, in the communities that do this work, Michael Singer's community, my community, Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, Tony Robbins, Dr. Joe, everyone, right? They all have their beautiful communities. And the more I study a lot of these communities, the information is, don't judge me for saying this, but information is very limited, in my opinion. Now, you guys have seen me go to a lot of these places, a lot of these retreats, learn what I can. To me, it's very limited what they teach. And that's fine. You can just people can teach whatever they want to teach. My promise was that I'm going to capture my journey, right? And I'm going to bring that to you. And you guys can be on this journey with me. At first, I attempt to tell people these little things you can do to maintain a certain state of being, right? Maintain a certain level of consciousness. Being able to not drop into the lower frequencies, thoughts, emotions, frustrations. When you get to a place where nothing phases you, or as soon as it does phase you, you catch yourself. As soon as something upsets you, you catch yourself. And then you can recognize that back in the day, maybe you got upset with someone and you're upset with them for weeks and months and years. But now you get upset with someone and the next day you start over with love. You're not holding any grudges. You're not holding any resentment. You don't hate anyone. From one point of view, you're the only one in your reality. So if you hate someone, you're just hating a character. You're hating something that isn't really real, right? You're hating your own incarnation because everyone is you. This is such a high-level statement that it's very easy for the statement to go over your head. That's why Yoganandas and these masters, they would read something from something that was written in the temples where they were, or they would just read something from some books, some teachings, and they would then sit quietly and meditate on it for hours and hours and hours, and you will get downloads, you will get clarity from the universe about what you just said for you to understand the depth of what you have just read or heard. They made this cartoon where there was God talking to this person saying that I created the entire universe for you to mature and learn and explore, right? And he said, you mean mankind? You want mankind to mature and grow and learn? He said, no, just you. He said, well, what about everyone else? And he said, God says, there is no one else. It's just you and me. And he said, well, but these people, he's pointing at Earth, and he said, they're all you. They're all you, different incarnations of you, because everything is already here all at once. Time is not real. So outside of space-time, everything is here, right? So Everyone on earth is you being reincarnated over and over and over and over again, all at once. And it gives you this show that you can explore and have fun with. But when you truly understand that, you get to a place where it doesn't make sense to you that you will judge someone. It doesn't make any sense to you that you will hate someone. People that will normally make you angry, you're feeling compassion for them. And you just want to bless them and let them go. Yes, there's going to be some toxic people, people that will really try to hurt you. Just walk away. Bless them, walk away. You can change people's behaviors by changing you. You can intentionally try to make someone else more kind by doing ho'oponopono meditation on them. Just close your eyes, think about them. Say those 4 things. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. You can truly change other people's behavior towards you. The more you change, the more you break the bonds with the past and the future and the traumas and the neighbors, the boss and family members you don't get along with, the more you do that, the more all of that energy comes right back to your field, to your present moment, your aura, and it starts to create harmony in your energy centers, your chakras. And when you do that, it just aligns you, making it easier for you to move the energy up, raise your consciousness, so you can get closer and closer to the ultimate goal of Christ consciousness, becoming one with the source. This is why it's important. Yogananda, his gurus, Jesus, all these people spend hours and hours a day staying alone in the cave, in the room, in the house, in the closet, wherever you do it. Yogananda asked permission from his guru to let him go, so he can go to Tibet or he can go to Himalayas and he can find a cave and do the thing and this, that, and the other. And his guru said, if there's a room or a closet that you can be alone in, that is your cave. You don't need to go to the mountains. And you don't need to go looking for your guru either, your mentors. You'll somehow run into them. It's like when you're ready for a guru, the guru appears. When you're ready for a mentor, the mentor appears. Somehow, some way. Synchronicity, coincidence, however you see it. Just 100 years ago, you would have had to hear from people of all the wise people in the world, right? And then you would pick one, and then you would travel across the world to get to some master, some guru to learn. And we have access to everything. I have so many books that I need to read. I have so much, like this infinite amount of things that I can be doing to learning more. And I'm going so deeper into this work. Because there's nothing else I want to do in life. There's nothing else that has importance to me anymore. Understanding that everything that you're looking for is within, and there's a vast universe within you to explore. There's so much to explore. When you start having mystical experiences, when you start having constant out-of-body experiences, when you become very sensitive to energies, when you can change energies, when you can feel things, you close your eyes, you can do it with your eyes open. You can do it with an intention alone. You can just move energy just with an intention. You know? This is so not just interesting, but it's vital for you to experience things, right? And the more you do that, the less you're interested in things, the less you're interested in getting a bigger and bigger house, and a car collection, and lots of money. Because when you touch wholeness within you, you want to stay in that state. When you become pure consciousness, when you touch the energy of source within you, when you sort of have these experiences of becoming everything. Now remember, words are so insufficient to describe these experiences. That's why no matter who you talk to, sometimes slightly, sometimes very differently will they describe these similar events. But it changes your consciousness, makes you the pure love. And when you touch that pure love within you once, you're not the same anymore. And you can choose to then have that consciousness higher and higher, and you can maintain it there for longer and longer. Suddenly, you need less sleep, you need less food, you're no longer dependent on other people. And when you get to a place of less and less desires, more and more of the experience around you desires you, wants to be near you. Animals, babies, humans, the reactions towards them. This unbelievable kindness from people towards me when it started. Initially, I thought I was really strange. Like I'm looking around for a camera. Like, is this a joke? Is this a prank? The way things were happening as I'm traveling, I'm flying, I'm going to places, and everyone that I'm coming in contact with was just so unbelievably kind, bending over backwards, being nice, like unusual, right? I go outside, I go to a place, I order some appetizers by the water, I'm having a drink, I'm looking at the dolphins, and people just walk up to me and they start talking to me, and suddenly there's a group of people, and it turned into this group of people just having a chat around me. I don't know if it's Buddha said that when you get to the desirelessness state, suddenly everything desires you, because the love you're emitting is something that people don't see often, so they then get attracted to you. And then some people will be repelled by that love. Some people will not be able to handle it, and they'll just fall out of your life. They'll just leave. They won't like you for it. Kind of like when you people that stop drinking suddenly, right? They want to take care of their health more, they want to meditate more, they don't want to do these parties and going out, and now the friends that you were hanging out with don't like you because you used to drink with them and now you don't anymore. And things will fall off. You'll find your new tribe, you'll find your new friends, and then the more of a similar frequency and consciousness and dedicated people that you will have around in your life, the easier and easier it'll get. Like you have crossed over this tipping point, and now you have the right amount of discipline, the right amount of structure in life, where moving forward into this work will become easier and easier going into your future towards this work. There's so much love. You just have to tap into it. And the more you do that, the more you're leaving information, imprints, steps that you have taken, everything into the quantum, making it easier and easier for others to do the same thing. And it truly changes the world in a small way. If everyone in the world recognized this, all of the problems of humanity would just disappear overnight. And they will. The great shift has already started. And I think it's going to get faster and faster across the world. That's why I think all this chaos and things that are falling apart are happening in the first place. In fact, you can see a micro version of this in your own life. That when you start to do this work, a lot of things seems to go wrong around you. You might lose your partners, you might lose your career. There were some examples that suddenly this person who was living a very nice life, lost his job, lost his house, started living in this car, lost his wife, lost everything, was living in the car after having too many breakthroughs doing this work. And then suddenly the life changed and he started another life, but he went down to the bottom of the barrel before he came back up and entered his new life, new family, new career. But this time, everything was aligned to his deepest desires. There was this harmony in his relationships. There was harmony in what he was doing for a living. There was harmony in his new friends and new community where he started to live. You don't need to die to go to heaven. You can choose to die and then go, but you can live in heaven right here and right now. Heaven is a state of being, state of mind. So is hell. And you can choose to create hell for yourself in this world, of course. You have that free will. You have that option. You just have to keep your vibration down, and all of the things that come along with that will find you. That's why people say, become love and your tribe will find you. You can do evil things and evil will find you. If you think you're a victim, a bunch of victims will find you. And you'll have your little group of victims, each trying to one-up each other on who's the best victim. And you can do that if you want to. But I invite you to try to touch that pure love in meditations. It'll change you so much that you'll be able to meditate throughout the day. You'll be able to create harmony in your chakras throughout the day without music. You don't need to have guided meditations. There are many versions of guided meditations on YouTube you can try. I've created many meditations that you can try. Some are free, and you can check them all out in the shop. And then, of course, when we get together and we spend time together, we break down some ideas from all these great masters and people and the Yoganandas, right? All the masters from the Far East, contemporary and historical people, understanding in depth of what it is like to be doing this work. Sometimes just the limited versions of some of the people alive that are talking about this work, or sometimes just from a scientific standpoint. I think there's a lot of philosophy and beliefs and things that go along with that, which is worth exploring, which is to not only identify some of the gaps in the knowledge, but to be able to then fill those gaps with understanding of all of the people that you wouldn't have access to unless you read books, and most people don't read books. So I try to bring most of that information as much as possible, as much as I can, because there's so much information, and I'm trying to create a framework. I'm trying to create a holistic view of this, and then try to explain it in my ebook, in my book, in my channels, in my gatherings of retreat, and so on, however that works out. And then, of course, coming together with people to meditate as often as I possibly can in the community. So that's enough of my morning coffee rant. I love you.